Hello, and welcome back to the 6th grade news.
To start the day off, we will be interviewing Officer Van Louis. Every month we conduct an interview with a Marshall Middle School staff member. This month we chose Officer Van Louis.
Hold on though, I think we need to tell a joke.
Of course, the joke is, what do you call security guards that are working outside of Samsung?
But first, we will interview Officer Van Louis.
All right, everyone, think about the joke and we'll get back to you.
Officer Van Louis, thank you for allowing us to interview you. How long have you been a police officer, and what did you do before working at Marshall Middle School?
I've been a police officer for 24 years, and before I became the school resource officer, I worked as a road police for 10 years. So like all the things around Marshall that you think normal police do, that's what I did before this job.
Officer Van Louis, what made you want to become a police officer?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I knew very early on in life that I wanted to be a police officer, probably when I was like in 9th grade. And I think it was mostly because I grew up with a stepdad who was on the fire department. So I got used to the pager going off and kind of the thrill of the unknown and the excitement of going and racing to see what was going on. Okay. And I think that's kind of why I wanted to be a police officer. Plus, I don't sit still very well, so I needed a job where I could be moving a lot and talking and working with different people.
How long is your training to become a police officer, and where did you go to become trained?
So to become a police officer, you can do one of two things. You can either go and get a 2-year degree or a 4-year degree. And there's several different colleges and technical schools around Minnesota or other places too that you can go and become a police officer. I went to Mankato and got a double major in law enforcement and corrections, so that's a 4-year degree. And then after that I had to go to Alexandria for 10 weeks for like what they call a skills program. That's where like you practice your firearm shooting, you get maced, and you do your taser training, and you learn how to do your speed handcuffing and jump walls, and all that tactical stuff is what you do in that skills training.
Do you have some advice for 6th grade students?
Oh, sure. I've got all kinds of advice. My best advice for 6th grade would be probably to be nice to everyone, be kind. It'll get you a long way in life to just be kind and friendly to people. You don't have to be friends with everybody, but you can be polite and respectful to everyone. And make good choices, and always try your best.
Okay.
Now you have Langdon and I with Language Arts.
In Language Arts, we are finishing our autobiographies and trading cards for Language Arts. Students are also making sure they have met their Quarter 2 AR goals. The focus for Language Arts has been pronouns and being able to write from a variety of perspectives.
Next, we will begin to read President Cleveland, Where Are You? While reading and answering questions about the story, students are expected to think about point of view and historical relevancy.
To help make sure all students are doing well in Language Arts, parents can help by reading the story at home. Discussing story and vocabulary will also help a lot.
Next up, Keelan and I are talking about math.
For this month, we'll be working on Chapter 8, Geometric Relationships, and Chapter 9, Measurement and Geometry.
It is important that we finish our practice problems and spy reviews daily.
If we are struggling with math facts, we should work on them for 5 minutes in Moby Max Fact Fluency.
Whenever we start a new chapter, students make sure your parents sign our greeting sheets so they know how you are progressing.
Before a student takes a retake, they will need to have a conversation with their teacher to figure out what must be accomplished before they take it.
The following tests must be completed to read Quarter 2 grade, Chapter 4, 5, and 7 tests, and Spiral Review 3, 4, and 5 tests. So we are learning about energy forms, energy transformations, and we are learning about thermal energy and the transfer of energy through heat, through conduction, convection, and radiation.
At the beginning of the next quarter, we will be learning about wave properties and how waves transfer energy.
Parents can help us by making sure we read through the lessons on Study Island and that we're getting them done on time.
The study islands that have been assigned to us are science investigations, lab tools and safety, experimental design, measurements and units, organizing and analyzing data, evaluating scientific evidence and conclusion and discussion, properties of matter, changes in conservation, and energy forms in conservation.
Please make sure to write these due dates on your family calendar and help encourage your child to get these accomplished on time.
Make sure to be ready for our test by looking over your I can statements in your planner.
Next up is social studies.
In social studies, we are studying how the land went from the Dakota and Ojibwe to the government, and also what happens at both sides after the treaties were all signed.
We will then be talking about the different people that start to settle into Minnesota. We will also see what the new settlers went through the first year they were in Minnesota, along with what causes tensions to rise between the Dakota and the government.
Our parents can help by asking what we find the most interesting in class.
Next, we have Gavin and I with Exploratory.
In health, we are learning about suicide prevention awareness. We will then learn about decision making, goal setting, and nutrition. And a new group of students will be in health for third quarter. Our parents can help by making sure all of our assignments are done.
In gym, we are going to start fitness testing. Fitness testing is the mile, curl-ups, sit and reach, pull-ups, and shuttle run. Our parents can help by encouraging us to stay active even when we don't have gym.
In music, we are working on the time signatures and different dynamic levels. And we can say thanks to our parents for supporting us.
In Spanish, we are learning how to conjugate verbs. For example, to learn Spanish is aprender el español. The quarter is coming to an end and we'll wrap up our current story at Quiere Pizza. Our parents can encourage us to speak in Spanish in retail stories or talk about our videos in Spanish.
In tech, we are nearing the end of quarter 2, so we are going to finish all of our Office 365 assignments like Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and Paint. We'll also be using Google Expedition Kit to go on a virtual field trip to the coral reef. We will then build an aquatic Minecraft world. Parents can help by reminding us to practice good keyboarding technique.
If you are wondering about chaperoning for the 6th grade field trip, we have all the help we need. Thank you for the volunteers who did sign up. For students in 4th grade through 8th grade, Junior Creator, Thursdays, January 31st through February 28th, 6:30 p.m. through 7:30 p.m. at the Lyon County Museum. This program allows youth to take on the roles of museum staff to research, create, and install a museum display.
PTA Movie Night, Friday, February 8th, 6 to 9 p.m. Students in grades 2 through 6. Register by February 4th. Marshall Middle School Theater. Please sign up at the following link. Incredibles 2, movie sign up. Or sign up by scanning this QR code.
Winter Rock on Ice. This year's theme is Wild. Come dressed in your Minnesota Wild hockey gear with a wild hair clothes or even has your favorite wild animal. You decide. Saturday, February 9th from 7 o'clock through 10 o'clock p.m. Red Baron Arena and Expo. Students 8th grade and under. Fee $4 in a wild costume or $5 not in a costume. Skate rentals available for $2. Come to play games, prizes, music, and more.
2019 Summer Soccer Parent Meeting. Date, Thursday, February 7th, 5:30 p.m. Location, Marshall Lyon County Library. Cooking up science at the Marshall Middle School. Can you make things in your kitchen and make them react? Can you use something other than batteries and power electronics? The Cooking Up Science class explored basic biology, chemistry, and physical using common items from the kitchen. Thursday, February 7th from 3:30 to 5 p.m. Grades 3 through 5. Go to register at the website below.
Generation Next. Young Women of Excellence. Marshall Middle School Spring Semester Sessions. Meeting will be held in classroom E16.
February 6th, Nutrition, Healthy Eating. February 20th, Social Media. February 27th, Healthy Relationships. March 6th, Self-Care. March 13th, Goal Planning. March 20th, TBA. Our sponsors are United Community Action Partnership, Women's Foundation of Minnesota. Activities, important dates upcoming include MHS Girls Basketball Meet the Tigers Night, December 14th.
Mini Mustangs Men's Basketball Camp, December 16th.
MHS Girls Soccer Start Off Season Leadership Practice, December 2nd and January 27th.
MHS Boys Basketball Shoot for a Cure. Shirt order due January 1st. Game on January 18th.
After school activity programs.
Join the Big Buddies today.
YMCA Spring Formal Program Guide.
Marshall Middle School is on Facebook and Twitter.
If you haven't already, please like the Marshall Middle School Facebook page. The address is on the bottom of this screen at www.facebook.com/Marshall Middle School MN.
And follow Marshall Middle School on Twitter, twitter.com/TigersMMS.
Before we are done, we have the answer to that joke. The joke was, what do you call a security guard that works outside of Samsung cars?
The answer is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Hello, and welcome back to the 6th grade news.
To start off,
Next up is social studies.
In social studies, we are studying how the land went from Dakota and Ojibwe to the government, and also what happens to both sides after the treaties were all signed.
We will then be talking about the different people that start to settle into Minnesota. We will also see what the new settlers went through the first year they were in Minnesota along the
Whenever we start a new chapter, students make sure your parents sign our green sheets so they don't know how we are learning about energy forms and energy transformations. We are learning about thermal energy and the transfer of thermal energy through heat, through conduction, convection, and radiation.
At the beginning of next quarter, we will be learning Braxton, get out, please!